I can't wait to try those virtual reality glasses soon.
Oh, me too. But now it's time to Game & Wario. Game & Wario boasts a string of mini-games that have been devised by Mario's nemesis, Wario. Each one of these bite-sized experiences takes advantage of the gamepad screen in some way. Take this one for example. You need to draw arrows back with the gamepad, then aim them at enemies on the TV. And if you get too close, then you actually have to squash them with your fingers. Plus you need to block cannonballs with it too.
I thought that was a creative one, but I think the best use of the gamepad was when it was used as a camera. This minigame has a handful of suspects hiding around apartment buildings, and it just felt natural to look around for the suspects on your TV, then pull up the gamepad to zoom in and take the picture. Gotcha!
Unfortunately, most of the mini-games are outrageously noobish, especially the racing games where you're just tilting the gamepad to steer, like this skiing one. Engaging noob circuits. Or this broomstick riding one. Alert! Boredom warning! Boredom warning! Ugh. These are nothing more than simple smartphone games. I almost had to laser myself for playing something so noobish. Ugh.
I know how you feel, Darren. I think the main problem with Game & Wario is that it's all just so basic. There's bowling where you flick the ball with your finger, or patchwork where you drag puzzle pieces onto the board. But honestly, I was just glad to be finished with each game so that I could move on to the next one.
Yes, out of the 16 mini-games, I can honestly say there was only one that I had a percentage of fun with. And it was this one, where the controller acts as a Game Boy. You get to play classic WarioWare mini-games on it. At the same time, I had to keep an eye out for the kid's mother on the TV. He's supposed to be sleeping, so you have to keep an eye out any time she's about to stick her head in the room.
Oh my goodness!
Even though I did have fun with this mini-game, I don't think it's providing a very good message, because you shouldn't have to hide your gaming. It should be embraced by you and your family, and you should game at the right times.
Yeah, game responsibly.
Absolutely. Plus, the mother was really scary. But at the end of the day, it was the nostalgia for these WarioWare mini-games that kept me playing this one in particular.
WarioWare has a strong tradition of some great mini-games, especially to play when you had some friends over, but now it just feels like the formula has run out of ideas. If I was being cynical, I'd say that this was a rushed attempt to just pad out the Wii U lineup.
Affirmative. Anyone who's after a minigame compilation should stick with Nintendo Land instead. It's superior in every way.
Yeah, that's a good call, Darren. Plus, there's only a couple of hours of gameplay here, which just isn't enough, so I'm going to give this 4 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I could only give it 4 as well.
Video games be art? Well, what is art? This is art. So can a game where you pick noses, pull armpit hairs out of statues, and figure out which team won in Splatoon be art? Well, the more I played WarioWare Get It Together, the more I thought, yeah, picking noses is art. Together is probably unlike any game you've played. Instead of one game, there's 222 micro ones that you'll play through in rapid succession in each of the theme stages. The games last about 5 to 10 seconds each, and their art styles are as different as their objectives. I loved seeing what would happen in each of them. And to continue my art analogy, it felt like each stage was a different room in a gallery. Once you complete 10 to 15 games, you'll tackle that stage's boss, a unique one-life challenge that gets more difficult on each attempt. These range from really fun, like clearing a Super Mario World level, to painfully hard, like this one, where you need to save a little floating friend by pushing water around. There's a pretty thin story tying all of this together. Wario, the garlic-obsessed anti-Mario, has created a video game company to get rich. But on the eve of release day, something goes wrong, and Wario and his employees are sucked into their game. It's appropriately silly. And the few cutscenes are presented in a really cool, limited animation style that combines thick cartoon drawings with almost photorealistic backgrounds and effects. I managed to finish the story in about 2.5 hours, unlocking all of the modes and characters without any real difficulty. And of the 222 micro games I played, there were only about 10 that I didn't really like, and mostly that was due to the character I was using. That's because for each stage in Get It Together, you'll choose 3 or 4 characters with very different abilities. These are then randomly chosen for you to play as in each game. So not only are you trying to figure out what you need to do to blend a bunch of oranges, but you also need to remember how your specific character moves or attacks. While it's fun to play different characters, it's pretty annoying to fail basic tasks because the character you've chosen won't stop moving left and right. I'm looking at you, 9-Volt. This is also doubly annoying because the first time through the story, you're forced to use every character at least once. I ended up sticking with certain characters pretty much the whole time because they were great all-rounders. There's no extra rewards for tackling stages with a disadvantaged character, so outside of pure challenge, nothing made me want to try playing with anyone else. Which is disappointing, because completing stages and getting high scores in Get It Together rewards you coins to spend in the Emporium. Fitting with the idea that WarioWare is a workplace, you spend coins on prezzies to gift each of your unlocked employees to increase their standing in the company. There's a bit of luck and skill to the prezzy system, as each character loves certain items and loathes others. I tried to use logic to figure out which character would love which prezzy, but a lot of the time it seemed pretty random.
I guess I'll take it.
Who doesn't like ice cream? Depending on how much characters like their prezzies, their level at the company will increase, which unlocks custom skins and increases the points that characters can receive in Get It Together's online competitive mode, the Wario Cup. This weekly custom challenge pits you against other players' scores for micro game glory. But a quick PSA, the Wario Cup does require a Nintendo Online subscription to participate in the ranked mode. The thing I love about WarioWare games is that they're full of fresh ideas that remind me that video games are actually really fun to play. I would have loved to see what crazy ideas the developers could have come up with using the Switch's touchscreen or HD Rumble. But what is here is so charming, silly, and fun that I'm gonna give WarioWare Get It Together 4 out of 5 rubber chickens. I wonder if they'll put Walu Kirby in the next Smash Brothers.